Hello everybody, welcome back to Life Stories. My name is Trent and I hope you guys are doing awesome as always. Today, we got some stories coming at you from Reddit/idontworkherelady. So, without further ado, let's get it started. Our first story of the day is titled, Karen Demands I Give Her a Motorcart I'm Bringing to My Disabled Mother. Hey everyone, this is my second post ever. I'm on mobile, but English is my first language, but I often suck at spelling things, blah blah blah. This isn't a very long story, and it happened about a year ago. It also isn't as exciting as most on here. No arrests, no getting hit, but something else did happen. Our cast: OP, me; M, my mother; K, Karen, who doesn't have the haircut unfortunately, but definitely the attitude. For a bit of backstory, I was 28 at the time of this story. Me and my mother live together because I take care of her when I'm not working, as she's disabled and walks with a cane with difficulty. Me and my mother went to the Mart of Walls. I was wearing a red shirt that says, "Do me a favor and stop talking," on it. My mother looked to the area for motor carts and saw none there, so we tried to troop on with just a cart. I could see she was hurting as we walked and knew she couldn't make it all the way through our shopping on foot. I say to her, "Mom, stop. I'll go see if a cart got put back." "Okay, son." M just leaned against a wall as I dashed back to the entrance. Right as I got there, an older man was getting out of a motor cart, and I was relieved. I asked how the charge on it was, and he said he had only been on it for a little bit, and it was still pretty full. When he got off and left, I hopped on and started to drive it to where M was. Right as I was about to pass the entrance bay area, so I hadn't gotten far, I heard a voice. In comes the Karen. Not bashing, but this woman was, well, a land whale. And I'm not a small guy either. A bit on the chub side, but I wouldn't say I was fat. "Oh, thank God, an employee bringing a motor cart back." Please note, I'm leaving the cart area, and I'm wearing a shirt that's the exact opposite of this store's color. I looked back with a raised eyebrow. She then snaps her fingers and points at the ground in front of her. Her gaggle of children surround her like a herd of sheep. Seriously, there were like 8 kids around this woman. Ma'am, I don't work here. I'm wearing a red shirt." "Then why are you in a motor cart? Those are for disabled people." She glares at me as she folds her arms in front of her. I roll my eyes at her and give her the stink eye. First off, you don't know whether I have a disability or not. Second, I'm getting this for my disabled mother.
"F your mother. I need it. I am fat."
"Being fat isn't a disability, and neither is being stupid," I say to her. With that, I motored away as she stomped her foot like a toddler and was cussing me out. I ignored her at this point and brought the cart to M. I didn't tell her about the Karen, as I didn't want to think about it. As we shopped though, I noticed that Karen was apparently stalking us through the aisles. No motor cart, but I would occasionally see her peeking around a corner, glaring at me. When we left, I made sure an older lady got the cart. No arrests, no assaults, but we were stalked through the store by a land whale. I felt like a penguin being followed by an orca. See, this is good, because normally a penguin would not be able to outmaneuver an orca. But in this case, this penguin has a motor cart. Moving along, our next story is titled, The Double IDWH Whammy This. On mobile, formatting will suck, typos will happen. This takes place in the late 2000s. For background, I'm shy about jack squat. I work in healthcare tech, and I was a hospital volunteer growing up. Periods don't bother me. Squeamish men can piss up a flagpole. I live near a mall, a big one, 3 floors with 4 anchor stores. I'm a professional, and I wear a shirt and tie to work every day, pressed slacks, nice shoes. I have my work ID and maglock door card on my belt. Our cast: me, Karen 1, K1, and Karen 2, K2. I'm on my way home, and my wife calls asking if I will pick up feminine products, period pads, guys, for her. I swing by the mall as it's literally 2 minutes from my exit, and I go to a big store named for something a marksman would aim at. I enter the aisle for feminine products looking for my wife's brand of pad. No luck. I assume that I'm a moron, and so I keep looking, scanning the aisle. Suddenly, I hear the voice of K1.
"Where's brand I happen to be looking for too?"
No idea, ma'am. If you see any, can you let me know?
What? You're the one who works here, not me. Why would I help you find your own products?
No, ma'am. I don't work here. I'm looking for pad brand for my wife.
I can see you're a manager. You even have a tag. Now help me find the brand of pad.
I don't work here. I work for the company I really work for. This is my ID and door badge. Want to see? I pull it off my belt and show her. The logo is red, but it looks nothing like the store named after a block of hay that an archer would shoot at. K1 proceeds to huff and move on. So do I. This store really missed the mark. I move down the mall to the grocery store that anchors at the other end. Yes, this mall is big enough to have a full grocery store and a department store that also sells groceries. I go looking for the pad brand. Enter Karen 2. The store did have the pads I needed to get, but I hadn't picked up the pads yet, so my hands were empty. To save space, the conversation was almost identical, except that she wasn't looking for the same pad brand. She wanted to know where something else was, and she didn't huff and leave. She went full Karen before the badge was shown.
Well, what are you doing in the feminine products aisle if you aren't a manager?
My wife needs... She cuts me off.
That's a likely story. Show me your badge there.
Here you go. K2 doesn't register the completely different logo. This store is not red-themed, so she just wants my name.
I'm going to call the general manager. My husband knows him because he used to work here, and I'm going to have you fired.
Okay, when you do that, tell him I quit. K2, now sputtering,
You're a freaking a-hole. Do you know that? Lazy.
And so it went, the woman practically spitting on me as she spat expletives. I, having had it, and having picked up the pads by now, because I'm not stopping for some bratty Karen, head to the only express checkout lane with an employee working. K2 follows. K2 cuts ahead of me and assails the poor checkout clerk.
This man has been accosting me. How dare you employ such a horrible manager? I'm going to have him fired.
Would you call security? This crazy lady's been accosting me and I'm about to lose it. K2 screeched. Literally screeched. There is nothing more powerful than delivering the worst curse word possible in a matter-of-fact voice to somebody who's already lost their cool 10 miles back and is now in full Karen mode. The "how dare yous" were almost as prevalent as the purse clutching. The manager comes over. K2 gets the truth from the horse's mouth. Being Karen, she then proceeds to huff and say that the GM will hear about how badly she's being treated and so forth. I decline to press charges because, honestly, I don't want to spend any more days talking to lawyers or cops than I have to for my job. Twice in one day, in one mall, because I'm not afraid to buy period pads, tampons, or any other product my wife needs. Venturing into the women's cleanliness aisle by yourself, eh? Brave, brave man. I'm joking, of course. It's not a big deal to buy these things for your significant other. And moving along, we got time for one more story, and it's titled, This One's Kinda Wholesome. Okay, I've been lurking on this subreddit for quite a while and just had an experience with a lady who thought I worked at Lobby Hobby. I think you know what store it is. For everyone who's waiting for an exciting tale about an entitled Karen who yelled at me for no reason, then sorry, this isn't the post for you. So, the story. I was out a couple of days ago shopping for paints and noticed a discount for a specific brand. As I'm kneeling down, looking at a 24 package of acrylics, a rather short, large woman with a bubbly, cheering face walks up to me. The bubbly woman says, "So what kind of paint do you use for rock planting?" "Oh, well, I'd recommend using gouache paints, but I don't really do rock painting." "Would you mind showing me where that is?" Now, I've never used this kind of paint, and I'm already freaking out because I'm thinking of all the Reddit posts I've read. "Well, I'm not exactly sure," I say, and I start getting up from my kneeling position. This woman suddenly realizes I'm not in the store's uniform and becomes rather shocked. "Oh, you don't work here. I'm so sorry." And her cheeks become a deep pink. And me, relieved I won't have to confront this lady, smile and tell her it's all right. She ends up walking away, but I'm still left confused as to how she originally thought my Team Trees hoodie and ripped jeans looked like the uniform. Sorry for any problems reading this, it's my first post ever. Well, your first post ever filled a very important quota for life stories, OP, and that is we gotta keep up on the wholesome posts. I know we're all here to listen to Karens tear each other's throats out, but sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad. Let's keep ourselves grounded, you know what I mean? Anyway, with that out of the way, today's episode is all out of time. You know this song and dance. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Life Stories for more Reddit content coming your way. My name is Trent, and I hope to see you guys soon.